Okay, today we'll be talking about intersection, which is right here. Now, if you want to know what intersection is, first of all, what you need to know first is how Elementor is designed, how the basic layout of Elementor. So what you want to do is Elementor is usually built upon section and columns. So I'm just going to give you a little demonstration here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click the plus sign. And as you can see, this is a section with one column as a whole. And this is a one section with two columns and so forth. This is 3 column, 4 column, 2 columns, but you have bigger column on the right, and this one is the opposite. But anyway, let's click just one of these. Actually, just click one. And as you can see, this is basically a section, and you can look at it. Okay, if you if you highlight this area, this is basically a section. And if you kind of hover on top of the area, you'll see this little button right here. This represents the actual column. So, and so we will be talking about the function of that, what do you call that? The intersection much later on. But we're going to talk about the basic of the section first. So what you can do is that on within a section you can create multiple columns, and you can also delete multiple columns as well. So let's say in this column, let's say if I would like to add additional column, I just right click on it, and you have this option called add new column. So if I click that, as you can see, now this is a section and this is 2 columns, and I can do the same. I can just right click on it and add a new column. Another way you can do is, let's say you have a column and then you already have multiple of content within it and you want to duplicate it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of click, hold and drag multiple things. If I click this again, and then let's say if I add images, and let's say if I go back, click here, and I add text, click and hold and drag. As you can see, you got title, you got images, and you also have text. So now let's say, okay, I've put all my work in, and I don't want to do additional work. I just want to copy and paste this and change it a little bit later. So what you can do is you right click on that, and then you can just say click duplicate. And as you can see, it creates another one, and you can change it at will. Now, if you want to delete this, you can just right click on this, either one of these columns, and then you can delete. And now it becomes 3. And let's say if I want to delete this as well, I can do that too. As you can see, now it becomes 2 columns. Now you can also change the width of the column. Let's say you don't want even column, you want to have, left column to be smaller than the right column. You can actually do that, and vice versa. You can now also do this as well. So as you can see, so you have plenty of way to work with. Now that you have this thing out of the way, let me actually delete this section. As you can see, I'm just gonna click here and I'm gonna start over again. Now, what is the intersection? Well, intersection is a section within the section that I just talked about. So let's say if I create a section, and as you can see, this is one section, one column. And then let's say if I click right here, and then I click the intersection, click, hold and drag, it basically creates another section within that section, and that intersection has a certain number of columns in it, and by default it's 2. And I can pretty much do exactly the same things that I just demonstrated to you a few minutes ago. So yeah, that's basically what intersection is. Now my pro tip to you is to not use it unless if you definitely need to. So most of the cases, as you can see, I just deleted. Most of the cases, you can get all the kind of column structures that you want just by using the section alone without using the inner section. So let's say if you want to have 3 columns, as you can see, I just right click on this and I click add new column. You can pretty much achieve the same thing. As you can see, I have 3 columns now, and I'm just going to delete one of these. As you can see, now you have 2 columns. So the only one of the scenarios that I can see you using inner section is that, let's say you got, let's say if I'm going to click and hold and drag and put an image here, text, and then over here you want to have some sort of a like a table, or like a box table, or something that highlights maybe your product, maybe things, your services. So that's when when intersection is actually a good option for you. So as you can see, I'm just going to put in the intersection, and then let's say I'm going to put, this is your service 1 and this is your service 2. So I'm just going to click that. I'm going to type service 1, service 2. Excuse me. So as you can see, now that being said, so it's done. Now you want to be able to, okay, so I got service 1 and service 2, and I'm going to add text as well. But by the way, I can also copy and paste this. I can just click duplicate or copy and paste. I'm just going to duplicate. As you can see, it creates a duplicate, and I'm going to click and hold and drag it and put it over here. As you can see, you have service 1 and service 2. And then you want to make it in such a way that it looks like two highlighted box, so to speak. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the inner service section, as you can see right here, and I'm going to right click on that, and okay, I'm going to right click, edit intersection, and as you can see, now it goes with you see all this good stuff on the left. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to style. Excuse me. By the way, the difference between layout, style, and advanced is that the layout is what you want to put, like the basic layout. Basically, it is what it is. How do you want the layout to be? Style is how pretty do you want it to be. So let's say if you want the section to have borders like a box. So what you want to do is you go to style, and then you go to border, and then let's set up border type. Let's say if I want it to be solid, so it's a solid line. Excuse me. And I want the thickness, the width, let's say 5 pixels all around. As you can see, now it becomes a box. So this is kind of like the scenario that I can see you want to do. And let's say if you want to have a little dividing line. So what I'm going to do is, this is a little bit of outside of the intersection procedure, but it's related. So what I will do is I go to either one of these columns, either column 1 and column 2, and I'm going to right click on that and click edit column. Same thing. Layout is basically the layout, and the style is how pretty do you want it to be. So as you can see, if you click the style, the border pops up, and then you do the same thing. You click solid, and then on the width, I will say 5 pixel, but as you can see, excuse me, now it has 5 pixels all around. So what you want to do is you say, okay, I want 5 pixels, but I want it just to be on the right side because I want it to be dividing, between the surface 1 and surface 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click this, link values together, so it will be unchecked, as you can see. So now you can actually edit the top, right, bottom, and left individually. So on the top, I'm just going to make it 0 because, well, because it's already taken care of. On the right, I'm going to leave it alone. On the bottom, I'll make it 0. And on the left, I'll make it 0. And as you can see, it becomes a nice little box within box. and you maintain that 2 column as a whole. Let's say on the left, on the right, you have, the overall description of your services and what you do as a company, and the one on the left will describe specifically what your services are. So that's actually the intersection. Sorry, I got a little bit brain fart over there, brain freeze. But anyway, hopefully this video will help you understand what intersection is. If you have any questions, comments, and everything else, leave a comment down below, and don't forget, click like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. So have a good one.